Hi, welcome to In Bold Print with me, Dee McNair, and the power beside me, the empowerment
Specialist, the empowerment specialist, Tamoji.
capital T, capital H, capital E.
You got it.
I was a cheerleader if you guys didn't know that. So, capital T, he,
Y'all see my face? I was
capital
not
H,
a
hey,
cheerleader. I was so
capital
militant
E,
growing up.
empowerment.
I was like, I am not going to be a cheerleader because they have to wear those cold little outfits while the guys playing on the field are fully dressed. I will not do it. I grew up in
I know you
Brooklyn.
guys have been watching the show. I
It
was
was
not cold. I
cold.
think I was hot flashing even back in the teen years. So I was never cold out there.
That's for them cute little girls be out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, now you know what? We done jumped right into the show. Let us tell you about In Bold Print. In Bold Print discusses what's relevant
Hot
and trending
by examining the fine print.
There we go. We got to get that in there. Got to
Yes.
get that in there. Everybody's got their branding, and so I want you to know that's what we do. That's what we do. But on the subject about cheerleader,
Yes.
let's just say I have the brain of a genius, and I use it.
We know that. I know
But
that.
I will admit, I am married to one of the most wonderful men in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I was very, very shocked to find out early in our relationship that I actually went to high school with my husband and didn't remember him.
Wow.
And so I think the reason I didn't remember him is that maybe I was cold and my brain had froze or something. But
Out there. Was he an athlete too?
he was a football player.
So he was on the field, you were cheering, and you don't remember, but he remembered?
He remembers me. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Girl, that's a good one right there.
We
That's
don't know
what
if it was a uniform or what, but
That's-
he remembers me.
Well, he remembered you enough to get married to you, so.
But talk about fine print. Here's my bold and my fine print. I was a cheerleader for about a month, yelling, literally yelling, 1st and 10, do it again. And I had no idea what it meant. So I had my husband rolling because I thank goodness he wasn't the football player I asked to say, oh, 10 yards to a first down. That's what we're cheering about. So if you are a cheerleader watching this program, whether it is for high school, college, or professional, please know why you're cheering and saying what you are. Don't go a month and not know that 1st and 10, do it again means get another first down.
Well, you know, I have a cheerleader daughter, and she explains to me all the time what's going on the football field, what's happening on the basketball court. Like I made a comment the other day, it says something about, ooh, he hooked a free throw. And
Hooked a free throw?
you can't hook a free throw.
What's a hook a free throw?
Nothing.
You got hooked off of Apollo stage. That's what you get hooked up.
Right, that's bad, right? But
No,
I
I'm
mean,
not going to say it's bad, but it's different.
well, see, I go to support the kids when they're cheering.
Good mom. Good mom.
Well, I don't make it to all the games, and I told them I'm not going to make it to all of them. But the ones that I make it to, I'm going to be there and I'm going to cheer. I mean, I know when to say yes, you know. And but yeah, sports are not my thing. I don't follow a team in no professional team, no college team.
I do. Check out the earrings if you can see them. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, this
That's all I'm
Tar
saying.
Heel sitting next to me.
I follow lots of teams here in the Triangle, though.
Okay.
So I support the Triangle. Whether
Okay.
it's the Wolf Pack, Tar Heels.
But
I won't swear about
I
one
will
school
support.
there,
So again, you know, I work at even though we're a community college, we do have a basketball team, and I go out to support the
Oh.
basketball team because I have several basketball
this
players.
is what makes her a great professor. She's supporting in every venue of the school.
Because you know, the academic part of it it's a part, but it's not everything. We need those interdisciplinary activities to help, you know, cultivate the whole student. So I go to the basketball games and I get excited because like that's my student out there. You know, I go, yes.
True teacher, true professor. Yes, this is what we
I,
have right here.
I love what I do, and they have my undivided attention in class, and when we get on that court, they have my undivided attention on the court, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy to see that because they take care of their academics, they're able to play their sport for the school, and that's important.
Well, I am a cheerleader for another school that gives us a chance to learn and teach right here at the People's Channel. So since we're talking about supporting,
Please.
I want to send out a cheer, hurrah, hurrah, you know, because People's Channel truly supports us. We couldn't do In Bold Print without the People's Channel.
You are right. There's a dedicated team here that allows us to produce this show week after week.
And they do a good job.
A very good job.
They do a good job. A very good job. Yes. But now, okay, let's jump in. My Be Bold moment was when I said, oh my gosh, I really should tweet about this. And you got to follow us on Twitter and social media. But, okay, fire and hot go together, right?
They
hot
do.
And fire, fire and hot.
Fire is
so
hot.
What's hot and what's relevant and what's trending right now is fire. Fire in the mall. It's not funny. I apologize. Hoverboards are setting malls on fire. That could be funny if you're not sure if it's true or not, but it's true, so it's not funny. And it exploded and caught on fire very near a baby carriage. No, I think it was in Washington State, I believe, Washington or Washington State. But hoverboards are the biggest gift desired item by teens, youth around the country.
I have to check. Have you researched the cost of those things? I don't know.
Oh, it wouldn't matter. I saw a hoverboard. I'm not getting on it. I'm not getting on one. It didn't come with training wheels. It didn't come with sidebars. One helmet's not enough. No.
Well, I have 2 teenagers. Not that I intend on buying a hoverboard. I do not. But I've seen them. When I was in Atlanta about a month ago, a little longer, they were everywhere. I saw 2 guys who appeared to be in their mid-20s. They were riding around the Westin Hotel in Atlanta on the hoverboard, and they got onto the escalator with them. They didn't even get off.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm cautious just getting on an escalator.
Yes, you feel like granny going. And when I say granny, I'm not talking about granny by years. The granny person that drives down the road at 20 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone, I'm the 2-mile-an-hour getting on the 3-mile-an-hour escalator going.
Especially if I'm in my heels. You know, if I'm in my flats.
I think I'm even doing it in my flats.
No, but when I saw them.
They make them go too fast. I know they do. They make them go too fast. They do.
Well, I had a traumatic experience, ladies and gentlemen, back in the 70s.
Tell your age.
When we used to wear jelly slippers.
61, 62.
Don't start. Okay. We used to wear those jelly slippers. And
I remember those.
I was on an escalator one time, and my jelly slipper got caught.
Oh, my goodness.
In the escalator. We were somewhere, I want to say we were like downtown Brooklyn, maybe at Albee Square Mall, which is not even there anymore. Yes, and I was young, and so that's like my traumatic escalator experience, getting my jelly slipper caught into the escalator. It came out, though. Had a little
My experience wasn't traumatic. I just decided today there is some person who thinks it's funny to make escalators go faster than they should. Because I know I've been in too many malls where I'm in one store and I can get on the escalator, flats or heels. The next store, I'm counting them. And I'm going, okay, get in the momentum. Get in the momentum. Okay, oops, we're on the escalator. Hold tight. But since I kind of have this thing about touching nasty rails, I will say that I've learned to.
She is such a lady.
Poise myself on the escalator. Don't touch anything.
See her now. Dee McNair, shoulders back, head up, getting on the escalator.
She can pick all she wants, but I will say this. Dee McNair can't move because she's afraid if she moves, she'll lose her balance on that escalator.
So back to the hoverboard. When they got on the escalator, on the hoverboard, I was just
I think I've been saying hoverboard. Did I say hover or hoover?
I don't.
Maybe I'm thinking of a vacuum cleaner.
Right.
Vacuum their
but I
brains out.
looked and said, oh my goodness, I can barely step. Oh, don't let me have a piece of luggage or my briefcase is too heavy. But they're all over the place.
Well, you know, they're all over the place. And what I heard listening to some of the news stations and looking at, you know, some of the social media, they are very popular.
Yes.
And my understanding is you really need to look at who you're getting your hoverboard from. There are a lot of, you know, fake makes out there. And if it, and this is what I heard. If you are going to get a hoverboard, not Hoover, hoverboard for yourself maybe, or for your teen, for your child, look for the Underwriters Laboratory symbol on it. That's that nice little U and the L. Look for that on there because that means it has been tested and approved, doesn't guarantee, but tested and approved. They're encouraging us to wear a helmet, and I said us because it's usually adults who really won't wear the helmets. The adults tell the kids to wear the helmet, but then they don't wear the helmet themselves. But they have caught on fire in numerous of places, and I'm understanding it's the battery pack. Somehow it gets, overheated, and it's even when it's not in use. One mother, the hoverboard exploded in her son's bedroom.
Wow.
They showed one scene where a portion of the house was burned down, all because of this. So it's the trending, it's the hot, but the relevant thing is don't die behind a fire from a hoverboard.
Well, again, walking on some days is challenging. So I will not be on a hoverboard anytime soon.
I was tempted until I heard, yes. I like roller coasters. I like adventure.
I don't get on roller coasters. I don't like them.
I want to go, parachuting and all that stuff, but my family says that they'd rather have me than even a broken finger, so I have resisted that temptation. But yes,
remember a few years ago, something very similar to the hoverboards came out, but they had kind of like what the police officers in cities use.
Oh, yeah, that, whatever.
I don't know the technical
scooter, I don't know
name
what you call
for
it, but
it.
I remember that.
Yeah, but, you would stand on them. They had, a long stick with some handlebars on it, and you'd ride around on those things. So now the hoverboard, you're going hands-free.
Well, and I just glanced at my notes, and one of the things that I still find awesome about this is that they're telling you not to get the knockoffs, not to get the ones that weren't tested, whether it was by Underwriter Laboratories. Just bottom line, you don't want to be getting one from some company in some place that you can't even find on the map. And it looks like in the UK, that's where a lot of the explosions are coming from. It says 88% of the devices inspected had an increased risk of overheating, exploding, or catching fire.
Wow.
88%.
Well, some things, you don't want the knockoff. I mean, I like Heinz ketchup. And so even if the store brand is on sale sometimes.
That don't even count. I like Heinz ketchup.
I want the Heinz
did I hit myself?
ketchup.
I think I hit myself. I like Heinz ketchup.
I bought the store brand before, but I honestly, most of the time I'm going to get the Heinz, especially if it's just a few cents.
I tried the store brand, and girl, it broke me in.
That's right.
I'm done.
So you like it?
No. I'm
you're
the
back to
Heinz girl.
Right.
I tried it one time because I had a coupon. Even if it's free, I want Heinz.
So see, you have to have
we're not
standards
putting any plug in for anybody particular.
No.
We're just saying in our house. It's kind of like in your house, you may eat beef liver, and in someone else's house, they may eat chicken liver, and another person says, forget the liver, give me veal or lamb, So, but yeah, I agree with you.
So,
it's a big difference.
with the hoverboards, considering that this is an apparatus that you're going to put your life on, you could possibly hurt yourself. I don't think you want to go generic.
I won't give her one for a present or
she can keep,
gift or anything. I think she may actually be offended.
No, I would not be offended.
You probably sell the thing.
No,
take the
my
money.
kids would sell it.
I would. So if she gives me one, I can tell you, I'm going to sell it and get me some profit.
My children would see that thing, and I'd have to referee between the two of them. So if you're going to send one my way, you have to send two. Different colors.
Different colors.
Yeah, so there's no confusion as to which child the red one belongs to and which child the purple one belongs to.
Well, now, I'm talking about the hoverboard, which it's really, we'd like to think it's focused on youth, we'd like to think, but there are a lot of adults doing it. But if you look at the fact that gadgets, toys, gimmicks, and all of that has become popular with all age groups.
Yes.
I think another trending or hot topic for the younger half of In Bold Print is music. And, if you've been in the music, love or feel for your whole life, you know a lot of artists and a lot of songs. If you're like me, who actually worked in a record store for many years, I learned what I had to learn.
Okay.
And I don't necessarily like the exact same kind of music that everybody would like because I got exposed to a lot of different music. But you got me good. We were talking about Adele, and remember, I knew who Adele was. But then you started talking about these rappers. And so another hot topic, that hot stuff over here, the young portion of In Bold Print, was talking about was the Billboard.
Yes.
And, we're coming down to a point where they like to count down the top songs of the year and the top artists in each category. Is it the American Music Awards or the Grammys that are coming up in a few months?
You know that
Wow.
I don't know.
She does. She's just trying to make me feel better. But
no,
now,
back in November,
Billboard
released their list of the greatest 10 rappers of all time. So the first thing I'm going to do.
I won't even on beat.
Oh, baby,
I won't even on beat. Oh my goodness, I won't even on beat. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Lift her up, viewing audience. So
I was trying. This could have been my debut.
Here's the top 10 list from Billboard. Number 10,
D. McNair.
Lil Wayne. Number 9,
he's so little.
Kendrick Lamar. Number 8,
I don't even know what that is. Kendrick Lamar. Okay.
Ghostface Killah.
It's
Number
getting worse
7,
by the count. By the count.
Number 7, Lauryn Hill. Number
Lauryn
6,
Hill is a rapper. Hold it. Stop right there. Just stop. Lauryn Hill is a rapper.
Yes, she is, and she is one of the best.
Okay.
Number 6,
I think that's fudging.
Andre 3000, which is the other half of Outkast.
Outkast what?
Number 5,
Is she? Are you dissing me?
Nas.
She's dissing me on the air. I think that's Payback,
Outkast.
though.
They're a rap group. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Oh, it's a group.
Ooh, I am for real.
Okay, we're going to move on with the
make it
countdown
up. Okay.
because she's digressing now. Okay.
Number 4, Rakim. Number 3,
Rock 'em. Rock the boat, baby. Rock 'em.
Eminem.
Rock the boat, baby. Okay.
Number 2, Jay-Z. And number 1, Biggie Smalls. Now, there were lots of...
Isn't that an oxymoron?
Yes.
Okay,
There were lots of issues.
I know a word.
There were lots of issues with this list.
Oh, lots of issues. With the
Okay.
names by themselves, I dare not ask what they actually sing their biggest hit was.
First and foremost, Tupac was nowhere.
Oh,
on
I'm going to
this
stop right
list.
there. I'm on the air, and I'm going to stop right there with Tupac. So, what about Tupac?
He is not on this list. And so when you compile a list of the greatest rappers of all time, some of these are new kids on the block, and some of them have been around for a
Might
minute.
be about, money. It might be about how much money each of these rappers made. Because, sometimes it's not true the popularity vote. It's more about the dollar vote.
That's true, however, but I think that this was someone at Billboard's top list. Because, again, some of these guys are new kids on the block, and some of them,
Sounds like a
although
group.
extremely, and it is, have done lots of great work, some of them. I still don't believe that, you can put this list together without Tupac.
You think some of them are in the pocket? Billboard kind of got a little tip, a little...
No, again, I think it all depends on what group compiled this list, because some of these people wouldn't even make the list for me. And
I know who Tupac is, though. As many of you all do, too, I'm sure.
The hip-hop generation. It is the music that I grew up on. And so when I saw this list, the first thing that I saw missing was Tupac. Immediately. And there are just some other people on here. So some feedback was, where is Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre.
Kanye
What era
West.
was he? Is he dead?
No.
Well, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I knew that name, though. I knew the name. Check for me. I knew the name.
Which name?
Kanye West. Or is it Kanye? Kanye. Kanye. I'm sorry.
Lift her up. Big Daddy Kane.
I'm being bold.
KRS-One.
Is that a person or a group, that one?
That's a person.
Just checking.
And so there were lots of people missing off this list. I can add, when I think lyrically about some of these people, even Mos Def.
Well, what happened to a female Queen Latifah? What happened to Salt and Pepper?
Nothing happened
Guys,
to
by the
Queen
way, I
Latifah,
only know that because I saw it on one of the
or Salt and Pepper
TV shows.
or MC Light or Roxanne Shante. The list, Yo-Yo.
See how you can pull out what she really was doing in her youthful years?
There are lots of women who have, done exceptionally well and who are really great lyricists. So again, we don't know what criteria they used. Was it sales? Was it, you know, I guess their popularity?
Money.
Was it their lyrical ability? Was it their, you know, commercial ability? We don't know, but there was a lot of feedback from this list, you know?
I think a lot of dollars.
Oh, boy.
So you can get you a hoverboard, and you can put you a helmet on with some music in it.
You can
and
get your
you can
beats.
play this top 10 list.
Dr. Dre is now a billionaire thanks to Beats. So he didn't make the list.
But hey,
as he's counting his $1 billion,
Daddy got paid. And personally,
he might not even care.
I'm sitting here making jokes about this, but if you thought my little spitting, sputtering was worth some money, and you can give me a valid check, money order, what do they say? Wire that money into my account, I better give them a fake account.
For her hip hop skills, not gonna happen.
You
but she has
know.
so
there are reality
many
shows about the silliest things. You never know. I may get my own reality show.
Well, let's stick with in bold print. We're not gonna move into women in their 40s who do the bebop.
Well, I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Okay, on to local happenings. I'm so disappointed and so happy for my alma mater.
Disappointed and happy simultaneously.
Didn't I say oxymoron earlier?
Okay.
See, I'm working on it. Hey, might as well, we're trending on it.
Yeah.
They're going to the bowl, but they did not beat Clemson. And I'm okay with them not beating Clemson. I guess for the first time in a few months, I just really thought they might beat Clemson.
Okay.
But they got a bowl bid, and so they are going to be going to the bowl, and they're going to the Baylor Bowl, and it's very interesting because the coach used to be at Baylor, so we're going to see how that works out. They got a bid, and if they win there, my understanding is they get a chance for possibly a sixth bowl. So, you know, it's all good. It is all good. The ACC teams, and that is Durham, Chapel Hill, Carrboro, and everybody in the North Carolina area. But we know the ACC has expanded. Do not get me on that subject. She might not talk sports, but I will say when the ACC expanded some time ago, I had issue with that. I think that we're losing the core of the ACC. I think we were better when we were tighter, smaller, more centrally located to one another.
Okay.
For you, Florida's in ACC now. So here it is. We always thought of the ACC as these neighboring states, and then you got a couple of states in between, and boom, you got Florida in there.
Okay.
Makes a difference.
Okay.
Makes a difference. But either way, and that's basketball that really set me off a few years ago when they started that, but it even affects me with football as well.
Okay.
But they did do a good fight against Clemson. I thought it was a good game, a tight, close game. And I say all that to say, are you going to be out supporting the Tar Heels, whether it's in your home in front of the TV, or maybe you are getting tickets? I know many of us alumni are getting our little newsletters and inboxes so that we can get tickets and go and support the Tar Heels.
So you're actually going to a game? Because I was hoping what you were going to do was have like a game party at your house.
Ain't happening.
Well, you don't have to invite that many people.
It is not happening.
I want to come.
There is no chance.
Because she makes good food.
I don't think it's that cold yet that it's going to happen at my house.
You make good food.
I make good food. I'll make you a plate of food, but we're not having a party at my house.
Just me.
Okay.
Just me. I'll come by myself.
You'll come all by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Either way, I
like
potato. Either, whichever way that goes.
What are you going to do with her?
I want you to be rooting for, cheering for, we've been talking about cheering, for the Tar Heels as they go to the Baylor Bowl.
Okay.
And also, I want you all to be getting ready, getting geared up, because basketball season is here. It's already started.
Did you see her eyes light up and
when
her
you
face?
When you
she
were
started smiling.
and still are a cheerleader, you get excited about all sports.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know of a sport I don't like.
Okay.
We've got a lot of great teams. We've got the Duke Blue Devils, the Carolina Tar Heels. We've got the NC State Wolfpack right here in the Triangle area. We've got Carolina Hurricanes. We've got the Carolina Panthers right here in Charlotte area, right down the road.
Now, I know who Cam Newton is.
See, and I no comment. But you have no excuse for not getting involved in sports in this area, whether it's hockey, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, whatever. You can get involved in something. And sports, even if you're just cheering, burns calories. So ladies,
well, it's
I'll mention that to you.
Listen,
jumping up and down and rooting for your team burns calories.
Cheerleaders are athletes. They are athletes. So I'm not one who diminishes it. Again, I have a child who's a cheerleader. I support her fully. It's very, I mean, I watch them train. You know, I watch them, they run suicides. The cheerleaders run suicides. I mean, it's athletic. So absolutely.
And it's suicide, I remember that.
So go for it. I mean, and she does the toe touches and the jumps and the cartwheels and the handsprings.
I know you all wish you could see me do that on the air. It is not going to happen either.
I can move this table, right? Ladies and gentlemen, how amazing would that be?
She wishes. It isn't happening. Okay.
You can
trending,
do a quick move.
Relevant. So we're going down the list here. We're going down the list here. Can we talk about something kind of serious?
Yes, we can transition into something.
I feel strongly about it.
Okay.
I don't know if you've had a chance to read any of the articles today about it, but North Carolina magistrates' law is being challenged for constitutionality. 6 North Carolina residents are challenging a law that would allow a magistrate to refuse to perform a civil marriage if it goes against their religious beliefs. And I will say I heard some good arguments for both sides of this.
Okay.
My issue with the whole thing, I think that the same way we want to embrace diversity, the same way we want to have tolerance, the same way we don't want discrimination, where is faith going in this country? It's getting to a point that irregardless of your faith, you are not being allowed freedom of speech of your faith and practice of your faith in order to be sure you're not discriminating against someone else. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe in discrimination of any kind either. I kind of understand why these magistrates should be allowed to decline, but I also understand they're being paid by tax dollars that should be neutral dollars, and they should perform the job.
My thing is that whatever job you have, whether you're a magistrate, whether you're a cashier, doesn't matter. You are there to perform the job that you're there to do. And so I can't walk into the college tomorrow and tell my boss, you know, what I will and will not do. If my job description says A, B, and C, then I need to perform A, B, and C. Now again, do I have beliefs on this? Absolutely, I do. But I also know that my beliefs I have beliefs on a lot of things that my students do. Have a belief. We talked about the FAFSA several, weeks ago. And the fact, I believe that if a parent is paying your tuition, FAFSA or no FAFSA, I should be able to speak to that parent. However, by law,
you can't.
I cannot. So again, we have to follow the letter of the law.
Well, now, one thing that was said in the article I read today was saying that if a judge, or a magistrate rather, doesn't want to marry same-sex marriages, or there was a case in 1976 of a couple who are actually in this petition about this, particular law, or magistrates being allowed to decline. It's an interracial couple who in 1976 was denied the opportunity to get married, and what they were cited were biblical scriptures that were misconstrued to justify why the magistrates wouldn't marry them. And they're actually joining the suit, even though they're not affected by same-sex marriages. They're joining the suit because they remember in 1976, it took 2 years. They weren't married till 1978. They found a magistrate that would marry them. They're both blind, interracial couple that would marry them without citing some discriminatory reason for not marrying them. I agree, except, it's a shame. It's kind of like saying to a doctor that, oh, we're going to let you practice your belief of killing people whom you feel the quality of their life is over just because that's your religious belief. And that's not right. So I understand that side. You wouldn't want a doctor deciding every little treatment based on his or her personal beliefs.
Right.
At the same time, I know that there have been cases where doctors, I believe, have been excused when they didn't believe in taking a life. But also they have a choice. It's just like there are doctors who won't perform abortions.
Right.
And doctors who will.
And so again, if the climate of the industry you work in changes, and something changes in the climate of the industry you work in that is against your personal beliefs, you can choose to now find a new industry. Am I saying, so this is not about being for or against anything, but if my job institutes a policy tomorrow, if they implement a policy tomorrow that is against my personal religious beliefs, then I have to make a decision.
And I've actually been in a spot where it wasn't religious, but it was a moral decision.
Yes.
That I did not believe in what was happening. It went against my morals and my values. And I did. I made the choice to leave, and I'm all the better for it. I don't regret it. I have peace, and they are successful, and I know I'm successful, so it worked out for both parties. I made that choice. And I think that was the hard part, though, is for me, knowing that this is a delicate issue. It's a delicate issue. It's a bold issue. But we have to find where there is common ground. And that means don't stifle people's religious freedom and their religious speech, but at the same time, don't stifle a person's right to choice and choose. And as you said, not taking a side either way. I feel strongly about it because I think it's a very sensitive subject. It's a very difficult subject. But I agree. I can't say I feel strongly one way or the other. And even if I do, that's my personal beliefs.
Right.
I'm not the one sitting there to make that decision.
Right. And so when we're dealing with the letter of the law, then we should follow the law. And again, the same way laws are changed, amended, and those sorts of things, we do have, we can take proper recourse when these things happen.
Yes.
To make changes. So again, I think that we have to fight things in perspective from the avenues that they need to be fought from, and not choose our own path and not take into consideration that there are legalities involved, and we are to follow the law.
Follow the law. If you don't, you just might be sued or be in jail. That puts it real simple. Sue or jail. Jail.
And so I'm sure it's a difficult decision, and I don't want to be in their spot right now.
No, I would not. So glad that I heard the voice of where my calling is, and it's not to be a magistrate. Irregardless of this issue, I know that's not my calling.
Right.
But with the law, did you hear about Chapel Hill?
You and these, is it the school or the city we're talking about now?
Well, a councilman, a former councilman, has been pardoned, in my opinion, for his DWI.
Ooh.
Now, you remember, I think we were talking a few shows ago about the 21-year-old that did a head-on collision, hit a lady, a mother, going on her way to work. She was in, Wake Med Hospital, and she's recovering. And it just so happened in that previous instant, it was a Meredith grad student who had hit this driver, and it wasn't her first DWI. She'd actually been cited for a DWI back in May, and then she turned around, and I think it was November, October, I believe, that she turned around, and it was like the weekend before she was supposed to go to court, appear in court on the first ticket, she hits this lady head on.
Again, because my area is human services, I want to know what's going on in her life that she is drinking, choosing to drink as much as she's drinking, even the weekend before she has to go to court because of her drinking.
And, I applaud her parents for being there supporting her, but I asked the system, are we exactly, doing a good job with the system? Because she hadn't even appeared in court, and here it is, she's there a second time. And I said that little story to lead into, it says former Chapel Hill Town Council member Lee Storrow, I believe is how you pronounce it, Storrow, was given a 60-day suspended sentence following his guilty plea to driving impaired. So a former Chapel Hill councilman was stopped. He has pled guilty to driving impaired. He gets a 60-day suspended sentence.
Wow.
Now, you would have thought that's what upset me the most, wouldn't you?
Yes.
It's not. I actually made sure I kept note of this. I want to read this verbatim here.
Okay.
Brian is the last name of the judge who gave him the 60-day suspended sentence. Okay. And Brian, the judge, thanked Storrow, the The DWI driver.
The judge.
He thanked Storrow for his service on the council during the sentencing of Storrow for 60 days suspended sentence, and said that he hopes the councilman will consider serving the community once again in some capacity. And I quote, "The last thing I would say, Mr. Storrow, is that I hope you will continue when you are ready to serve in whatever capacity you find to be stimulating and worthwhile," Bryan said. Quote again, "Because I think you have that experience to be able to continue to do that."
During the sentencing for his DUI.
During the sentencing. And this is according to the Daily Tar Heel.
Wow.
That's all I can say is wow.
I don't know if I can even touch that, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
leave the Meredith girl alone. To my knowledge, the judge didn't tell her that at her, arraignment when she first got ticketed back in the earlier part of the year. And I don't believe the judge said that when she appeared after hitting that other driver head on. But if you were misquoted, Judge Bryan, and you are watching in bold print, I would love to hear from you. That's D. McNair OTA at Twitter. Love to hear from you on that. I might have misread. So if I have quoted you wrong, we'd love to talk to you. So
we know it's the holiday season, and believe it or not, the consumption of alcohol goes up. People are depressed sometimes. They have breakups.
Well, he lost his re-election bid, so maybe he had one drink too many.
And so I want to deal with the whole person, because to me, by the time you pour yourself into, in this case, alcohol, there are plenty of other things that people pour themselves into.
Oh, definitely.
But in this particular case, by the time you pour yourself into the alcohol, something has truly affected you, and we need to get to the heart of that. We have to start dealing with people. I mean, you see I'm here with this gadget, I have this gadget, I have another gadget down here that you can't see, and I think we need to get back to
Gadget
this,
girl.
D. We need to get back to checking in on one another. When was the last time you went to your neighbor's house just to say hello?
Just to say,
how are
hello.
you? When was the last time you walked by your coworker's desk and didn't necessarily need something for work and just said, you know what? I'm glad to see your face today. It is the small things that we do as humans, one to another sometimes, that makes a big difference. When we think about the fact that life can get hectic for many of us. And being in the holiday season, not everyone has a family that they're going to go home to. Not everyone has a mate. Not everyone has children that are going to come and fill their house with laughter.
That's so true.
So when we think about that, this is a time of year that we should be extremely sensitive to the needs of other people and just say hello. Just smile. I had a student who was unable to make it home for Thanksgiving break. I mean, how could I leave that student? So I took him home, right?
And she could cook, by the way. Don't let her fool you. She could cook.
We went to my mother's house. My mother cooked Thanksgiving. But I'm just saying, I just could not know that all of his friends had left town for, the weekend to go home for Thanksgiving break. And he was going to be stuck in his off-campus apartment alone and without a vehicle. So I went and picked him up. I brought him home. And, so again, let's show some compassion for our fellow human. Let's smile. A smile.
You can make people laugh.
Goes a long way.
You can make faces.
You can make faces, and you can make people laugh. But just make sure you know them. Because if I didn't know her and some of the stuff, I wish y'all could see what goes on over here when we're off the air.
I am the same off the air as I am on the air. The only difference is right now I try to sit upright in this chair. I have this thing about posture, but I'm the same. I'm the same. Life is too short. Life is too short. And you're right. We do need to embrace the human side of it. I lost a very dear friend recently, and losing that friend, I didn't know if you had asked me prior to how it would affect me, because I saw them just weeks before they were challenged with, what they had to go through before, I lost them. And I'm so glad that I had said to them on more than one occasion how much I appreciated them,
Yes.
how much I enjoyed them.
Yes.
I'm glad I listened to them. I remember they gave me retirement investing advice as well. And I'm glad I listened to them, not because I've got a bunch of money right now, but because they got me started and because they told me the tidbits of wisdom because they cared. They didn't tweet me. They didn't text me. They didn't even send me an email. They told me face to face. And I remember they even told me with a hand to touch to kind of go, this is really serious. I really want you to listen to me. And that is lost. And I think that's how people think that just texting, and I text. I'm a big Twitter fan. I text and I do all that, but it takes more. Sometimes you need to pick up the phone and let them hear the tone of your voice. And hey, sometimes you need to make the drive.
Make the drive. I love to send handwritten cards. We have all of these sites now where you can send an electronic birthday card. I know now that people will send you a birthday text, a picture or a meme for your birthday.
What's a meme?
A meme?
Meme. See, she picks at me, but I will ask that. What's a meme?
A meme are those funny little pictures with words on it that people pass around all the time.
I don't think I've gotten one.
That's what people post on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So
believe it or not, I actually think I haven't gotten one there.
Yes, you do. They're just pictures with words on them.
No one sent me one though, other than you probably. She's my friend.
We send birthday memes, happy anniversary memes, your baby got baptized memes. Sometimes
baby got baptized memes.
Sometimes we
Mimi's
just
baby got baptized.
Right, but sometimes we do. We just need to write a card because we're losing that.
How about a letter? I write letters.
Yes.
I'm a letter writer.
Oh my goodness.
You want a letter? There you go. Inbox me, tweet me, hit me
but
up.
Remember
I'll send
growing
you a letter.
up when little boys like little girls, they would write things on paper like, do you like me? Check yes or no.
Get that started.
And you could hold on to that. So now I'm sure they still maybe ask the same question, but how are they going to send it? Text message.
I do like texting and email though. I'll tell you, boy, you can hit up a lot more people.
But you lose those notes. Do you know that I still have notes from middle school?
Oh, wow.
I have a little box, and I have little notes.
I wish I did.
I have some notes from middle school and high school. Yes, I do. I saved those, and it's really nice. When I was in Atlanta, we went to the museum, the Civil Rights Museum.
When were you in Atlanta?
It's about a little over a month ago.
I don't think she told me.
I did.
I wasn't in the luggage. I know that much.
I told
a free trip to
her.
Atlanta. Wouldn't all of us like that?
You could have jumped in the car with me.
I did. Anyway, no, I had to work. Okay.
At the Civil Rights Museum,
I'll let her off.
They had a beautiful display of the actual writings of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So they had this one dedicated space, and it was just we went in there and we saw legal pads with his handwriting on them. Wow. And that was absolutely amazing. You felt something when you walked into that room, and you would see where he had cut out newspaper articles about himself. They had invitations that people sent to him, and they were there. And so when we're not writing anymore, are we going to have that? When
communication, sure. Have you interviewed anybody lately? I get to interview people, and I'm going, where have the communication skills? You can't articulate. You can't write. And I'm not talking to any of you all out there. I'm sure I'm not. But you get resumes and cover letters with chopped up.
With text language in them.
Yes. I can't even find a nice word.
For the word you. So, I've seen lots of stuff.
My favorite. Interviewed someone, gave them an alternate number to follow up with some information I wanted. Don't know how they knew it was a cell number. They text. And they did. They used the cryptic language. They actually text to confirm that the documents that they sent arrived. And I remember thinking, not only is it inappropriate that you just assumed you could text this line, but you could, but it's the fact that you use cryptic text that I'm having to go find one of the other young people to go, can you decipher this? Translate this for me. Yes. What is this? And no, they didn't get the job.
Well, here's what's funny. I needed to send a text to someone who is of age, and I'm not going to say of what age because I don't want anyone to take offense.
She's not talking about me. That's all I'm going to say.
But you know, even in text language, we abbreviate
Everything.
okay with just a K. And so I took that into consideration before I sent the K, and I said, ooh, I better not. Let me send an O and a K because I don't want this person who's of age to get the K.
It's not me, honest, it's
in
not
the
me.
text message and say, what does that mean? You know, because I mean, I have to Google every now and again. I have to Google to find out what it means.
I'm laughing because I'm one of those people that you have to be cautious what you shorten and abbreviate because, I don't always get it.
Right.
I get the K, though.
You do. But again, this person was of age, and I did not want them to say, you just sent me a K, and what do you mean by K? So text language and the way they abbreviate things, I mean, I had something the other day. I wish I remembered what it was, and I had to look at it for a minute to figure it out and say, oh, okay, I've got it now. But it took me a minute. I had to use some creativity to decipher what the shortened, abbreviated text 3 letters meant.
I'm laughing because I'm going to have to ask her to decipher one. I just thought, I've got something I need to decipher.
I had to read it in context. I had to go back to what I sent.
Forgive me, guys. I'm laughing because I'm realizing she probably could decipher this text I got. Now, I didn't know what it meant, but.
Do you know the letters?
I'm trying to figure out, what is it when you get a J at the end of whatever they say? What is that? It looks like a J. I've gotten it in emails. I've gotten it on texts.
Just a J by itself?
Yeah, I was like, somebody said it was hang in there, and I went, really?
I'm going to Google. Keep going.
So, for those of you all who might hit me up on Twitter, I am pretty good. But if you're going to abbreviate a long message and make it extremely cryptic, hit me up on email, okay?
I mean, lots of things. Like when I first saw KIT.
What's that?
Keep in touch.
Okay, we're going to change topics
TTYL.
Before I get any more.
What's TTYL?
I have no. We're going to change topics now before I embarrass myself.
TTYL
okay,
is talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Well, we're going to TT whatever IL or TTL about that one.
Later.
But want to say, because got to hit up one more little hot piece of trending news here.
Okay.
Durham, prominent school, North Carolina Central University, has hired a new police chief.
Okay.
And she be female. Woo!
Yes.
What do you know?
Girls rock.
What do you know? She is, I think, retired 24-year service person. Hi, I might have it in my notes.
Okay.
Oh, here. She's an alumni. So she's an alumna of North Carolina Central University. She's going to be the new police chief. Her name is Odetta Johnson. Welcome, Odetta Johnson, to the Triangle area, to Durham, North Carolina. She started at NCCU just a little while ago, but she was a major and chief of staff with the Richmond, Virginia Police Department.
Wow.
I think what I liked, though, was, and it was military. Where is it? She served as a police commander and all of that. Yeah, here it is. She's a veteran of the Operational Iraq Freedom. She received a Bronze Star and is a retired reservist in the United States Army with 24 years of service.
Thank you for serving.
Odetta Johnson, you could not have picked a better place to bring your career, your experience than the Triangle area to Durham, North Carolina. We welcome you. I pray that it is a low crime period for your tenure here at NCCU.
Okay.
But I will say, go, sister, you rock.
Well, I'm excited when I see, alum come back to serve. I had the pleasure of working at Bennett College when we had our first alumna president installed, and that was extremely exciting. It opens that door for us to say that one day that might be me. You know, it's exciting when the current students, get to say, wow, she started where I am, but look where she's at now. And so go for it. Congratulations.
Well, and, I'm cheering not because she's so much a female as much as an alumna, because so often you see people go to great schools that get a great education, but they don't find a place in the very place that they started at. And so for her to be able to come full circle and come back, and I happen to know a lot of the staff over there in security and in the police department in leadership under her, they are phenomenal. They do a great job. They keep the students safe. They actually befriend the students, just like you were saying. They are connected and engaged.
Yes.
So, Miss Johnson, it's going to be a great ride. I can guarantee you that. It's going to be a great ride.
Yeah, and so we'll have to come back and visit this in a couple months.
We'll have to come
back
and
see how she's
yes.
doing. I'm sure there are going to be some interviews with the local media and that sort of thing. So who knows? Maybe we can get her on in bold print.
That would be good. So, some of you watching are going to come right across her path. Why don't you tell her, oh, Dada, you need to be on In Bold Print. Let the people hear why you can be bold, why you are the police chief at NCCU. You know, the Eagles, they soar.
Yes. Oh, speaking of Eagles, one of the students who graduated out of my program at the community college last year is now an Eagle, and he came to my office a couple days ago to see me. So I was excited. You know, he came back and he said, thank you so much for not taking it easy on us and pushing us out of our comfort zone.
Out of the comfort zone.
You know, because it is hard. It is a lot of work. And I said, yes, it is, but you're able to do it. And so he came. I tweeted a picture of us. I was just so excited.
This is the picture girl. This is the picture girl. She has no problem with being bold when it comes to pictures. None whatsoever. But no, it is great.
I didn't take any today because my hair is back.
We're going to let that go. I think it's great when people that you've had a chance to pour into or just share in their goals or dreams, and now they're seeing them come to pass, and they come back to tell you all about it, to let you know where they are, what they're doing. We want to know where you are and what you're doing.
Yes.
You know, in bold print, it can't be hot, relevant, and trending without talking about the great things that people in our community are doing. You know, I say it often, it's not about you, it's not about me, it's all about the we.
Yes.
We are so much stronger. In bold print, it's so much stronger because of we, the people here at People's Channel, you, the people there at home, and everyone out here in the community. So when we talk about what's, you know, hot, what's relevant, what's trending, know that the fine print is not you. You're the bold print in our show. And we want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. We don't just want to be texting only. Hit us up on Twitter, but I would love to meet you out in the community. So let us know when you got something going on as well.
Please, and we'll be, you know, more than glad if we can accommodate having you on the show to come on in and let you come on and talk about what you're doing in the community. Make sure you go onto our Facebook page. We have an in bold print Facebook page now. And for those of you...
Social media queen.
No, we did it together. For those of you outside of the viewing area, we do post links up there for you to catch the episodes.
Yeah, you can go back and watch them over and over again.
And today is Thursday, so we have something extra to add. Dee and I do a conference call every Thursday night at 9 p.m. sharp. For 15 minutes, you get to be empowered by me and Dee live on the line. If you would like to find out more information about that wonderful 15-minute live empowerment call with Dee and myself, go on to Facebook. Is it on your page too?
It's on all of the pages.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
It's on in bold print. It's on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Notice
Tamoji,
the list.
Periscope, Tamoji Jackson. Yes, that's my handle on all of social media. Join us on the call live. You don't have to introduce yourself. You don't have to say your name. You can just join the call, put your phone on mute, and listen. And I promise you that I think it's even more energetic than what we do here. Well, as you can tell, she's
very excited because the holidays are coming. And so we're actually in the studio early. You know, we normally are with you Friday nights. And so we're in the studio early, doing the show early, so that it'll be ready for you at your late night hour. But that being said, since she's going to let it out the bag that we're actually doing the show a little earlier than we usually do, I want to encourage every one of you to not only be bold, but to start reading the fine print. As we go into the end of a year,
yes,
and we start a year, there are lots of things that are going to change. And quite often people are buying large ticket items like cars because they're getting sales. They're preparing for their tax returns. They're changing things in their health care plans. They're doing a lot of things. And you're looking at the big print, the bold print, but you're not looking at the fine print.
Check
the
It's fine
so
print out.
important that you check out the fine print. It's so important that you don't let the bold print blind you. This is one of the rare times I'm going to tell you, don't be bold. Don't jump out there and get the fanciest car.
Do some research.
Don't go out there and take a tax break that you know goodness well you may not be entitled to.
That's right.
Don't go out there and invest money that you don't have. And don't tell yourself you're going to lose 50 pounds when you ain't lost 5 in the last 5 years.
Ooh.
Set realistic goals.
B is
you
going
know,
in
yeah,
today.
I'm just, hey, this is the season.
It is.
This is the season where people are sometimes too bold. So in some areas, I don't want you to be too bold. So find out about legitimate tax breaks. If you haven't consulted a CPA or a tax professional, do that. Don't fudge those numbers. The IRS is waiting for some of you to do that.
And so as we end on a high note this evening,
I'm just giving, we said what's relevant, and it is relevant. So, hey,
as we end on a high note this evening, thank you for joining us on In Bold Print. I am your host, the Empowerment Specialist Tamoji, and I sit here with my sister friend.
I'm Dee McNair, and we are not off the air. We are still on the air because even when the dial says the show's over, we're still out there pushing and running just to get the news for you, just to share a little bit of it with you. So I do hope you will join Tamoji, the Empowerment Specialist, and myself, Dee McNair, on the air for our In Bold Print show, where we discuss what's relevant, hot, and trending by examining the fine print. This is the season in which we can make it the season all year long.
Yes.
To show love,
show some compassion,
lots of forgiveness,
be kind,
be generous in your giving.
Yes.
And that's not just money. Be generous in your time. Be generous in your time.
Yes.
And you know, I want to challenge every one of you. Be bold in this. Write that note. Write that letter.
Please.
Pick up that phone. Don't text. Don't tweet. Take this moment to be bold and tell someone, I love you, I appreciate you, I value you. Thank you for watching In Bold Print.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye.